welcome. I am Snow Bear, and I will be bringing you the second to last, the penultimate tournament match. And joining me is the fancy one. So this is the final match in this group. Fire is 3-0, Shenanagans is 1-2. And with a win, Shenanagans has a possibility of making it through with the wild card. Otherwise, he will be eliminated from the tournament. And if Fire gets a win, he will be going 4-0 with one of the higher top seeds.
Yeah, definitely a lot of high stakes here for this penultimate race here, so it's going to be really exciting to watch. And looks like the racers are getting ready, but I want to see what your initial thoughts on this card are, Snow Bear.
Well, that middle goal doesn't look so good. It's a three one-offs that could be anywhere. But other than that, we got Slowpoke Tail, TMs. I think we have a decent card to start off with, but it's a Friday card at least for the Defeat Lapras. I think generally we have a guaranteed column 5, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah, always having a guaranteed bingo right at the offset makes the path a little bit easier and kind of guarantees a shorter card. So both runners choosing to do Thursday.
Yeah, actually, it is the Thursday to Friday card because they have the bug catching contest, so that's a lot more critical. But which is actually really funny with the rollover time, they should be pretty good, and it's almost like you can guarantee almost. You almost have 2 rows guaranteed, with column 5 and row 2 almost guaranteed.
And our 3 starters are Quagsire, Vaporeon, and Mr. Mime. So I think Vaporeon's probably going to be both our runners' favorite here.
Yes, and it was pointed out by the chat. Thank you, Garf. Yes. Well, with a win here, he would be guaranteed to make it through to the wild cards. Because there is no way to have that 5-way tiebreaker anymore. But alright, so we have a runnable Vaporeon for both of them. And Shen remembers the bike this time. He remembered it last race too, but of course it's always good to have.
Yeah, it's new for this tournament, so if you haven't run as much recently, it can be easy to overlook, but Shen definitely catching up here.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pointed out as a water type, but I think out of the mains, I would have picked the Vaporeon anyways, regardless of the water types, because it is just that good of a Pokemon. I always prefer the evolutions because it's bulky and can stab Surf.
Yeah, I think anything that can kind of guarantee. Ooh, Fire finding a Mewtwo.
No, don't do it. Don't do it, Fire. Don't do it.
Is Protect on the card? No, it's not.
He's killing it. Very good.
Not a bad call. It's still going to be a bit of experience.
Yeah, I appreciate. We've had so many Mewtwo's run. It's nice to see something else run for a change. Well, that and Mewtwo's just on a tier of its own.
Yeah, with how high the stakes are here, I was curious to see if they're tempted, right? If they're willing to take that devil's deal here and run the Mewtwo.
It probably wouldn't be a bad idea, and it looks like Shen is catching it. So we'll have at least one more Mewtwo. I think this would be the 14th match if it just chose the main, which it may not be with those movesets. It's something. I think it's actually a nice idea to defeat it for experience. I didn't really think about that. But it generates a decent amount of experience. Although, we do have Flash on the card. And it is in a decent spot, so...
Yeah,
May not
either
be needed.
it may not be needed. Either way, having that extra levels probably just means you're gonna get through the trainers a bit quicker. So could be a little bit of a time save overall.
Yeah, not a problem. I really like this Vaporeon. And it gets a move right now. So maybe it'll get... maybe Pound's not so good.
And it's very early on, but I really like the position Fire's in, right? He's got good experience. He's already got a slight progress lead. Like, if you're starting out here, this is probably the way you want to start out.
Yeah. Definitely a good way to start out. So, it may not seem as much as riding on the line for Fire, but a win for it. You do want the better positioning of the win. Even though he's guaranteed first in his group, you always want to make sure to give it your all. I do like Fire's idea of just repelling here. I mean, you've got your main, you don't need to worry about too much. It's a little bit early on, but I'm sure it's not going to provide too much information.
Yeah, he will want to be careful again. That middle goal being kind of important. If you accidentally skip over that information, you're going to be kicking yourself later. But I agree with you. I think at this point, this early routes, you could probably go ahead and skip, because even if Shen finds it, right, Fire will probably be able to metagame where it is.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Shen has decided to stick with the Vaporeon. I guess that Mewtwo I mean, sometimes people will force Mewtwo's. But, you know, when you have a perfectly good Vaporeon with a decent moveset, I think it's totally fine. You also don't want to be totally at the mercy of any TMs, which I think is fair play. The other thing to consider is that Mewtwo has a slower experience curve, so it would make a lot of fights harder than necessary because it won't be able to gain as much experience.
Yeah, and you do have, again, Flash to help offset that a bit, because that's just more trainer fights you have to do, but it still isn't enough, right? You'll still be behind.
You know, it's interesting that we have that Water Stone, which is a good way to evolve either the Poliwhirl or the Slowpoke for that evolution. And I was thinking if there was 2 chambers on the card, but it seems like that's not here today, so you don't have to worry. But a Moon Ball is actually really good because that guarantees them the 5 different Pokeballs without the clock reset or clock rollover.
And Fire did pick up a Berry Juice, so we'll have to see if he does remember to mark it. But that is a good early goal for both our runners here.
Considering that goal can be very tricky to get, that's always good to see. And it's pretty good that Shen already has 3 different water types. That's pretty good early on.
I just noticed Shen's name, and that's hilarious. And shout out and reminder for everyone to please follow and subscribe to our runners.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether I should mention or not. It looks like a fairly calm climb of the tower. Considering how Fire had a lot more experience from beating up wild Mewtwo's, it's not too. That was a good idea, I think. Because he's higher level than the Elder, which means that he should have an easier time than someone who who didn't beat up and get experience on their main.
Yeah, and the higher experience again just means he can get through these Pokemon fights quicker as well, so he's probably saved more time than he spent fighting those Mewtwo's, which is great.
Yeah. Stan found an Abra there. I'm just curious, would you have caught it just in case the trade poke was something?
I mean, yes. Yes, I would have.
I mean, it's a long-term play, but it may just pay off.
Yeah, I look at this card and I see, you know, that trade Pokemon's gonna be 1 out of 251 Pokemon, and that's row 3 gives me 6 Pokemon, or more than Steel type as well, that if I get, I'm happy.
It is interesting that Shen actually opts to go for the level 9 in the gym rather than going for Flash. I mean, I'm sure he'll be able to figure out the deduce from Fire. The Fire was able to get Flash, or for the Berry Juice elixir from climbing the tower with the acquisition of Flash shortly.
Yeah, I mean, he can always come back after he gets Fly to do Flash, and he'll still have the knowledge that Berry Juice is there, but I do like Fire's pathing here, where he's been pushing the tempo so fast that, you know, they're still basically on the same fight now, but he's got so much more progress done.
Absolutely, and this is the kind of thing is that, you know, Shen had to switch out his Vaporeon because of the level 9, but it's not a problem at all for Fire. So even though it was like a 5-minute detour, or 5 or so minute detour, it makes a slight difference in the end.
Another thing is it probably puts the pressure on Shen, right? Because Shen probably saw that goal get marked while on the first fight and thinking, oh man, he's now aware that he's got to push his tempo as well.
Absolutely, because you kind of realize, well, if someone has the time to do, all Flash Chamber, that, whoa, that's, that's pretty intense. They've got a decent head start on me. I mean, you're running the starter, so it's very possible that they're still just running it as well. Although Shen does have the water type advantage over Fire, which could come into play. And it's pointed out to the chat that yes, Lugia did have Stab Psybeam. Very somewhat inconvenient, but at this point, Vaporeon's bulky enough to be able to handle it. Although it is nice to see them in sync, pretty much. It is interesting that, Shen was into the Poke Center a little bit quicker, but because Fire only had one Pokemon, that he's out of the Poke Center before Shen leaves it. I didn't realize how much of a difference adding in those extra Pokeballs did.
Yeah, I think the rule of thumb is if you have 1 or 2, it's quicker just to go to Nurse Joy. If otherwise, I think it's quicker to go to the PC.
Yeah. So you still do see Fire picking up more items. He may be hoping for that Slowpoke tail, or more of the Pokeballs, but given that he has the Moon Ball, you could just buy the Ultra Ball and it would be fine. Although, okay, so Shen did open up the Ruins of Alph Hidden Chamber, which is actually kind of interesting. It gives you 4 items that are not otherwise available.
Yeah, unfortunately, none of them were on the card here. And money's not going to be a major concern this run either, so just a little bit of detour for him, not much advantage gained.
So for all those who were in chat who were joking that you'll be able to evolve yet another Vaporeon with the Water Stone, there you go. Fire has caught the Eevee fishing it up.
Fire does hit an optional here, but it is just a 1 Pokemon one, so not a big time loss.
You know... Okay, so Shen does... Wait, was there an elixir there that I just missed?
I'm not exactly sure.
Oh no, there was a berry juice actually in the cave! Wow! Yeah, that's pretty big. And it's actually really nice that Shen does find an Oddish. Also, is that 5 Pokeball? Or different... Or I think it's 4 different balls that Fire has, yeah. With the Park Ball, that's actually pretty big, but wow. So the Oddish is big because it's not that bad to raise it up to be a Gloom. And Fire gets his first other Pokemon in the Omanyte. Besides the Eevee. So the first water, non-Vaporeon water type. Wow, actually, that is Fire's 5th Pokeball. That will have to definitely be. Yeah, he does notice it. Very good. That's huge.
Yeah, getting it this early is so fortunate, right? Now if you don't have to go to Blackthorn for any other reason, you can just skip it altogether.
Exactly. I think that I don't know if that's Shen's 5th ball, but I'm sure he'll show it to us. But either way, this would be a good time to deposit all your different balls, one of each of the 5 different kinds of balls into the PC. Along with your berry juice, to make sure you don't delete or sell them or use them up.
And he does show us, he does have all 5.
So that was a nice thing for Fire to have attached the Poison Cure Berry. It came in clutch because it instantly healed the poison from the Machoke.
And this is area dose information, so hopefully this comes in handy. And Shen didn't get poisoned, but he did get paralyzed by this Machoke, so just a status-loving Machoke here.
Yeah, well, hopefully he was able to sort of handle it. Although it's kind of unlucky with the status moves. And he's gonna have to be careful because that Machoke can flinch you with rolling kick. So being paralyzed to it is sort of unfortunate. But it decides, because this is a not smart AI, to go with other moves instead of just rolling kick, which it would do the best with.
Yeah, he did get hit with that flinch this last round, so that's a little unfortunate, but has the healing item, so not gonna make a difference other than just a bit of time.
It's rather unfortunate the amount of swag cargoes that have gone down already this race. You hate to see it. But I suppose it just means that those trainers have good taste. I'm curious, did Shit pick up the Paralyzed Cure Berry from the... He must have. Because his Vaporeon's not paralyzed anymore. But yeah, it looks like Fire's kind of pushing through everything. I mean, Shen is as well. But with the extra levels that Fire has, it's made things go down that much quicker.
And Fire now just flying through Bugsy as well.
Yeah, not a problem. Oh, and there was Slowking information. Very good. It's another water type.
This moveset on the Vaporeon's really just been beneficial here, right? Two Bone Moring Pokemons and then just a Crunch to handle the Slowking. Both runners are really happy with this.
Yeah, a problem. It's a kind of an interesting coverage though, because Ground and Dark kind of are weird. And I didn't realize that the Vaporeon was trying to learn to go Boom. I suppose you wouldn't really want to use that right now. I wonder what the next move is going to be. It might be something good. Maybe. You know, it's kind of interesting that Shen's skipping that has been having to switch out his Pokemon or his Vaporeon enough to give his other pokes more experience rather than Shen just being able to power through things. I mean, it's kind of switching it because of the baton that Jatini didn't kill it in one go, but
yeah, it's one of those things that really comes back to, again, just Fire getting those early levels by killing the Mewtwo's right now. He's not having this issue, and it's just slowly compounding with what you're saying with Shen. It's just now he's already below levels, and now he's having to share experience as well. It's just going to be slowing him down a bit more.
Well, it's not just the Mewtwo's, it's also having done Sprout Tower as well.
Very true.
So those extra couple levels makes that little difference in, you know, whether or not you kill things quickly, or kill things in one hit or not. That's what makes it, like, when you're doing, even when you main switch one of those higher level pokes, it's actually a little bit easier to do stuff, because it doesn't have to be that great of a poke. It's just the levels make such a huge difference.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet Fire has a really good attack DV on his Vaporeon as well, just despite being a higher level. Like his Boomerang on the Nidoking really did damage, where Shen's not so much.
It's possible. I mean, with the Vapor evolutions have a it's an 87.5% chance of being male, which means that you can have a male with DV2 versus all the way to 15. It's sort of hard to tell.
And Fire getting this radio card here real quick as well.
I like this. So not only is it on the card, although unlucky with the match, you should have picked up Kenya first. Maybe that would have worked. But it could be used to get one of the roamers a little bit easier in case it's something that's on the card. Or you just want to switch to a level 40. I mean, you never know. And because it is a Thursday, until it rolls over on the clock, you can get that Pokemon March. Oh my gosh, so there's an Abra in the park here. And you're right there. But no, it looks like neither of our runners want to just waste the time to catch an Abra.
I mean, in Fire's position, I approve, right? He's so far ahead. He doesn't necessarily need to spend some time going to check that trade when he can just keep pushing that advantage.
That's absolutely true. And it looks like Shen just finds even more water types. He does run away from that Quagsire, so he did not acquire the Sire. But I think he's got enough water types for the moment, considering it may not even be on his path. But definitely think it's just kind of been an interesting kind of way, because Shen hasn't been repelling as much, whereas Fire has been much more about, you know, repel, you know, get the progress goals that you need to do, and just keep going.
And Shen actually heading back to Azalea, so I'm wondering if he's planning to either get Pokeballs or maybe some repels.
I think he's going to grab the charcoal. But he does find that Quagsire again. And he's gonna go try to have it. You know, it could be that he knows he's far behind progress-wise from Fire, just because of all the markings that Fire has done, that he might be just trying to find anything. And I definitely think it's a good move to say, hey, you know, I may be behind. Let me try to eke out the things that I know he's passed and see if it gets me anything better. Oh, and that's a high crit move on the Kenya. So
Yes,
he
so-
definitely will have to mark it with the karate chop. There he goes.
I mean, this is looking really good for him early on. He's already got 5 different goals, 6.
Yeah, so Shen will have the... Well, it's interesting that Fire removed the male. He's gonna have to... I mean, that is his one thing. He'll have to find another Pokemon to give the male to for that nice TM if that TM50 if he wants to keep it. You know, I just realized, so we have information on the Ariados Ledian. So, I think Fire sort of has a path laid out, assuming it's, assuming it's viable. I mean, since we have the information on the Ariados that was on several of the trainers, he should be able to have at least the Road 2, Column 5.
And we have seen a Scyther as well, I believe, so column 3, if that middle goal is possible as well.
Well, right. And we know that Shen has an Oddish, so that row 1 is also very feasible. So really, we only just need... Wait a second. Oh right, the TMs aren't... Wait, no, the TMs are randomized. But that's an Ice Beam TM, and that's huge that Shen actually checked it. I didn't see that what the paralyzed one was. But clearly it's not as good.
And getting some assurances here with the X Special, X Speeds, and Guard specs.
Those are sort of unusual buys for this, but if you know you're gonna have some tough fights, it doesn't hurt to get that.
And we're going to get our first look at this bug catching contest.
Absolutely, that's always a good thing to see. So we need to win the contest, which is much easier than getting second, third place. Well, assuming you have friendly Pokemon that are willing to to do stuff. Really, just most level 18s are good enough. We do have a nice rate calculator. That Jolteon is a little bit just too low level to be a good assurance. Although a Gloom in there,
really nice.
They both find it. I think has a good chance of winning.
Yeah, with a level 16 Gloom, that could do it.
So level 16 Gloom is a 48% chance of winning.
That's an APOM. He doesn't even need to keep this. As long as he doesn't have to restart, he gets this registered in his dex. That's the middle goal.
Yeah, that's really good too. So that APOM... Wow. Although using Bite was not a smart move there, although now both of them have seen the APOM. Yeah, the APOM's a little bit too fragile to survive that. but understandably, it was using a move that was super effective against him. And that's an Entei in the contest. So, level 13 Entei also has a decent chance of winning. Level 13 is a 99% chance of winning. So he is switching to that Entei, so that will be a guaranteed win, pretty much. Barring unfortunate circumstances.
Mine's a level 17, so that could just guarantee it at this point, probably.
17 is by far guaranteed, even with the reduced HP. For those who are wondering, reducing the HP of a Pokemon has a very little effect. It barely changes the catch rate, I think, or not catch rate, I think it's by like 3% or so at most, if you lower him all the way down to 1 HP. It is sort of unfortunate that he is not finding that Apom again. Because that is a middle goal. And that would really help him out with everything else.
Oh, Shen's gonna get fainted here.
Luckily he did catch stuff, so we'll see if he wins. No, he does not win. But he opts to keep it because he has center goal. So he's probably gonna have to clock reset if he plans on doing that bug catching contest goal. I think it was with the Apom, so that's why it didn't quite win.
Yeah, really unfortunate there, but clock resetting takes a bit of time, but it's not too difficult. We do have a nice little calculator for that as well.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, he's gonna probably do it later on. Although Fire is still on the hunt for that Apom. I almost would think about just leaving the contest and just dexing it. But his persistence pays off. That's an Apom level 17.
There we go. That's 2 goals, 3 goals really once he wins, just in this bug catching contest.
Yeah, so his persistence does pay off with that, so that's very good. It's only a shame that he's not gonna... that the Gloom was not quite the guaranteed win. It would... because otherwise, then he would have an easier path to row 1 should he need it. But I think, considering what he's got, this is much better for him. And Fire is gonna attach that mail to that Entei. So that'll be an easy one to do. Oh, and the Vaporeon learned Dig. Was that its next level up move? I totally missed it.
It was. It happened during Whitney's gym.
Wow. So that's kind of interesting he taught it, but he didn't really have a better Pokemon to do it. And this is also gonna, as soon as he sees that, Shen's gonna know exactly where the Steel type is. I mean, he'll have to see it anyways, but if he didn't know where that Fire had already beaten Whitney, he will be well aware of it now. Also, is getting status by the pseudo on the card?
I honestly feel like it should count, right? Status or be status by pseudo, it should work either way.
Either way, though, that Fortress was not going down without a fight after enduring and then beating him up. Fire is grabbing the Rock Smash TM right now, which is very good.
Could have gone for 50 as well right there, but once he gets Fly, it's quicker that way anyway.
Well, I mean, once you get Fly, you can double it in with picking up the experience share right there, which is on his path already, so that's really good. Yes, as the chat points out, the Mantine did explode. Please be careful for exploding Mantine parts. So Shen is depositing the Totodile with the berry juice to make sure it definitely has it. And I don't think Shen has picked up Kenya yet. Otherwise, he would have noticed it's got a high enhanced crit rate move.
He might be picking it up now that he's beaten Whitney. If he doesn't, I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a... There we go. I was going to say, he's going to need to get it eventually so that he can turn it in to get the TM.
Well, even more than that, it has that high crit move that they absolutely need. It's kind of interesting how most of these goals have just kind of been they've been just handing most of the goals to the players right now. I think Shen definitely will appreciate it after he was struggling to find some of the goals in his last match.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we've seen some pretty painful cards. Just want to remind you of the Bayleaf. And this is the exact opposite, where it's just the nicest kind of combination. So much information, so many early goals.
And Shen gets the freeze on the fortress. I believe that does slightly increase catch rate. Not by much, but it does slightly increase it. Sleep and freeze are the only two statuses that actually increase catch rate. And Fire is going to be super happy to have Stab Surf at this point.
And Shen did skip the bug catching contest, and I want to say the Scyther information is on one of those trainers, if my memory is correct. Yes. Yes, that is exactly what I mean.
Yeah, well, that's kind of interesting. I think and that's totally fine to opt out of that. I do like Fire's play, though, of getting it first, because it's one of those things that does help make Whitney a little bit easier. And, as you pointed out, it had not only just Scyther information, it did have the Ariados information, which they may not have had.
They did have Ariados from Slowpoke Well. One of the rockets had it.
Forgot about that.
But, I mean, we were already talking about Column 5 being a guaranteed goal with that Ariados information, right? Getting the... Oh, I'm sorry, that's the bug catching contest. Yeah, Row 2. I was confusing the location of bug catching contest and defeat all 4 trainers in National Park.
I mean, I think it's okay not to commit to those National Park trainers, because you're still missing that Hitmon information. Well, they were missing the Hitmon information until the Kimono Girls. It's just every time.
Like I said, this seems to be the kindest card and rando combo that we've had.
So now through overtime, our Fire's audio. Alright, chat. What are those roamers? Guess who's that Pokemon?
I want to say the first two were definitely Johto Pokemon, like Gen 2 Pokemon.
I absolutely know the second one. It is a very distinct cry. We have a lot of good guesses in here. Alright, so for those who know, the Reiko was Slowking. The Entei was indeed Octillery, which is one I absolutely figured out, was able to identify. And the Suicune was indeed Rhydon. So both roamers are on the card, actually. So not only are they on the card because of Entei, Reiko, Suicune, they are both water types, and one of them is actually has a goal of its own. So that's pretty cool. I do wonder if either of our runners are going to use the Pokemon March strats, because it is a Thursday. So it will increase their chance of encountering a roamer if it is in there.
Well, with Fire already fighting other trainers, it seems most runners I've noticed go directly. We'll have to see if Shen goes directly for one of these roamers.
He did save beforehand, so it looks like he is going to go for it. So Shen is fairly experienced with this game, so I'm sure he might remember that Pokemon March. You know, I say that, but he's still just doing the roamer stuff on its own. I was hoping he would already have turned on Pokemon March, remembering that he does have the radio card. But it doesn't seem like he's found it.
Yeah, left and re-entered the route just to see if he can refresh where it is, but from my understanding that actually doesn't really help. They tend to move away from where you're going.
Absolutely, they will move away from where you're going, so that actually makes it a little bit harder. I think when you initially release them, it has a 1/3 chance of being in each route, but I don't know if going through the gatehouse actually affects that or not. I always just prefer to do Route 37, because there is no gatehouse, it is one transition, and so it should theoretically be the highest probability, whereas the other two have gatehouses, which I think count as a separate area. But I may be incorrect on that part. Shen is spending a lot of time doing the roamer strats. I would have hoped he would actually have done the... I mean, I'm not going to be a broken record, but the little bit to explain what's going on is that the Pokemon March, I believe it doubles your encounter rate. So, when you're repelling, it means you're twice as likely to get... I believe it means it's twice as likely to get the roamer encounter.
And it does look like he's just given up on it and has gone to Morty's gym.
I think that's fair. 2 tries is not too bad. I personally just go for 1 try and then let it go. But going for either roamer would be pretty big. Either way, Fire is making very good time. Even though he spent a lot of time in the bug catching contest, he is already, and he did Flash. At this point, he is making super good progress and should be able to have, he should be able to have a sub-hour chuck at this point.
Yeah, to have as much progress as he has and still get under an hour fly, that is like a standing ovation level of good job.
And Fire was demonstrating that with a single repel, you have exactly enough steps to make it all the way to Cyanwood. But yeah, it looks like neither runners are really struggling with this Vaporeon. I mean, Surf, Crunch, Ice Beam for Shen. Can't really go wrong with that. Oh
Oof.
no, Shen got Mach Punched by that Bellsprout.
You jinxed him. As soon as you said, how good this Vaporeon was, we see one faint.
Yeah, but he's got a max revive. He was just using it to heal. So, now Fire has that artillery information. I wonder if he's gonna be able to realize that, hey, the roamer was an artillery. I mean, I suppose he doesn't really need to chase down the roamer because he's got an Entei already. But it is kind of something to think about if he ever is desperate for water types, which I don't think he will be.
I was gonna say, we still haven't seen either Ditto or Smeargle or Mankey or Meowth, so right now, water types might be low on his priority list.
That, and I'm sure there are plenty of water types around. Man, Rock Slide now too. Vaporeon was starting to learn some good moves.
Yeah, too bad Rock type move isn't on the card, although having that on your main's kind of a double-edged sword because you can never teach over it.
Yeah. Oh, and that's a Dragonite for Shucky. Interesting.
And Shen finds a Mankey.
Oh, that's huge. Because that gives... I mean, he's already got the water types. And this just guarantees him the diagonal as well. And if he finds that Slowking... Well, now he's gotta be very careful because he's running out of Pokeballs. but no worries, the Mankey is caught. Yeah, but that Mankey fine was pretty big, because that pretty much guarantees them 3 different bingos. Because it is that corner spot.
And Fire with a 54-minute fly.
Very good. Just counting up the TM. Teaching Sweet Scent. The nice thing is we can, since we've had the newest speed choice, Sweet Scent is buyable in the mart, so you don't have to worry about grabbing an extra TM, or worried about having to grab an extra TM. The nice thing about having dig on a Pokemon is that you save yourself escape ropes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it just... I was gonna make the exact same comment. Don't worry about it.
Although, to be honest, I actually just prefer escape ropes. Because I'd rather go to my menu than try to scroll down for the different Pokemon field moves.
Yeah, if you have it on your second Pokemon, then you can just make it the very first move, and it's always at the top, so... But, here, since it's on his main, he doesn't want to make that his default move.
Well, that, and generally with the second poke, I like to have it as Fly, then Sweet Scent. A lot of people do Sweet Scent, then Fly, so...
Fire does remember the Slowpoke tail, so no worries there.
Yeah, that's one of the easier goals to forget until it's too late. I think Fire pretty much has his path set out for him, it seems like. And Shen's just been getting unlucky, because he's just been getting status so much this race.
No.
I don't think we are on pace for tournament record. It could be, but our tournament record right now is 111.
Fun note, Fire didn't even teach Fly and Sweet Scent to his second Pokemon, he did it to his third, which is the Eevee that he named my child, so really showing that respect to the Eevee line here.
Well, he's getting turning in the Entei, so that's why it's not a big problem. He just didn't switch it back after he boxed his Pokemon. And that's quite an interesting Electrode there. It's shiny. You know, it dropped the red scale, but I'm pretty sure it was blue.
Red scale, blue scale, this is starting to sound like different versions of the same game.
You could even say it's one scale, and then once Shen gets his second scale. The second skill. Although Fire probably will have to open up a spot in his inventory, I believe. Nope, never mind. He didn't have his full bag. I thought the bag was full, but I think that's just me being crazy. I do find it interesting though that Fire has not dexed any of the Pokemon.
Yeah, I think he might be saving that for last, right? Because he's getting beating Price to be able to use Whirlpool, so it's probably going to Lugia's room, collect the rest of the TMs, and then once he kind of has like everything he can collect on, that's when he'll switch to dexing.
Yeah, I think that's a fairly reasonable thing. Since we do have information on multiple rows, I mean, we do have the Hitmon information, we have Ariados information, we have Scyther information, we have Slowking information. And he doesn't even have to go for a Roamer. Or the Suicune.
Which honestly is a win in my book. It takes a little bit of time to get that to work.
I think so too. Although this Kingdra is not playing for jokes. T-Bolt and Substitute. Just annoying.
To answer the question in chat from RP Priya, do we normally fight this gym guy usually? If you're watching a regular speedrun, they skip this one, but the way that we have spinners coded for this randomizer, if you take the speedrun route, you'll always end up fighting that cool trainer, and he actually has 3 Pokemon, so you generally go straight up and then just do the square formation to get up to Price, and then you can skip the 3 Pokemon trainer.
Yeah, when we turned off spinners and made them rotators, rotators always spawn facing down. So unfortunately, you're coming from the bottom, so you're spawning them facing down. Wait, Fire, you have a water stone already. Did he sell it?
He must have, because I didn't see it higher up in his inventory.
I guess he did. Oh, and he has 20 TMs. He doesn't even need to buy that last one. Pretty sure he had 20 TMs.
He's going to beat floor 1, maybe he had 19.
I might have miscounted, but either way, he should have 20 at the end of this. So no need to rebuy Sweet Scent. He is a little dirt poor for that. But I'm not going to mark it at the moment to see. I think it's better to let the runners do it in this case, since I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, he was just counting, and then he picked up 1. I think if he had 20, he would have remembered to mark. He's been really good at marking goals so far.
Yeah, they've been very good about, both of them have been very good about that. And so Shen is going backward. Oh, he's not going backwards, he's going for that Lapras, since it has been the hour rollover mark. I was a little bit confused, but then I remembered there's the Lapras there to defeat. Shen definitely avoids getting into that trainer's range. I have fallen prey to that way too many times.
Same here.
Saving before defeating the Laprat. Not sure if it would be too much, but just in case, so no, not a problem. That's a very annoying cloister on Rival 4.
Did get Perish Song off though, so at the very least we'll have a way to handle it.
Rival will switch it out as long as it's not his last Pokemon. And I didn't see where that Hitmontop got Dex for. Uh-oh. There's two possible places that Slowking could be. Oh, and he's going in and out to double check, because he did identify as the roamer. But it didn't move. It may not move at this moment, actually.
If you could always fly, I feel like they always move after you fly.
Oh, they absolutely will move after you fly. But that is smart of Shenanagans to check. Okay, so he has determined the one on 36 was the roamer. The one on 39 is the one that does not move.
He wants the roamer.
Unfortunately, going between 37 and Acrotique is not the ideal movement. But I think he's deciding to do 39 instead. So Ariados is actually— oh, that's a Cherry Grove Water. Very good. Hitmontop is Sprout Tower and Mortar. Not bad. Poliwhirl is Union Cave, Sprout, and Alf. He might be a little bit confused about that Slowking. Hopefully he doesn't go for it when he sees it in 45. And Scyther's on 29, and neither of our runners saw it. Ooh, that's pretty interesting.
Probably means it's one of the 10% slots.
I mean, you never know. It could have been anything, but yeah, Shen has seen a lot of Pokemon. If you're referring to that, my bad. Or were you referring to the—
I was
the
referring
Scyther?
to the Scyther just because we did see Shen take some encounters there looking for a possible main other than the Vaporeon.
It's possible. I mean, to be honest, I usually see at least one of the 10% on my first pass and then never again. It's just like the rule of bingos. Shen confirming it is on 39, but he's trying to go find the Slowking. It generally will try to avoid the area, but he's got him in the loop. Unfortunately, I think it's going to avoid this top loop. Yeah, so for those who are unaware, the roamers will try to avoid what area you are in. However, you can sort of cheese it by going between Route 36 and Runes of Alph. Because Runes of Alph is considered part of the 32 part, whereas 36 is a different part of the loop. Meanwhile, Fire is searching for, I believe, 2 of the Pokemon that were in Sprout Tower. I think it was the Scyther. Oh, sorry, my bad. It was that Hitmontop. That is a very good find. Hopefully, someone will let Shen know after the race, or we can let Shen know after the race the optimal path for that roamer. Please do not inform him during the race. But yeah, not many people know about that kind of thing about the roamers. It's a little small thing, but it can make a big difference. And this Hitmontop refuses to get in the ball with toxic milk drink. Oof. Fire is running out of Pokeballs, but after kind of taking a look at the bag, Hitmontop says, I've done my damage. It's okay for me to be caught now. And in regards to the question RP Priya has mentioned, yes, you can use field items regardless of the status of your Pokemon. And Fire takes absolute revenge on that Hitmontop, saying, "You poisoned me." Although he's rewarded with a victory bell here. Wow! That's pretty big.
Yeah, that helps him get row 1.
Yeah, I mean, row 1 is a lot more popular. Alright, and he has the goal, which is pretty big. So now I think he's just gonna settle with defeating a Lapras. Actually no. Yeah, no, I think he's just settled with Ariados Ledian.
Unfortunately, I missed it. Did he already go for the Scyther?
He has not yet. He's going for the Ariados Ledian. Unless the Scyther was in Sprout Tower.
No, I think this Scyther was the first route out of New Barktown.
Oh, right. He hasn't gone for that yet, no. But he should be there. I thought he had the TMs, but he may need to check his TMs again. Aha! So, Lario says, I have a spider web. This is a vanilla game. You can't run away from me now. Although Fire simply responds by, well, I wasn't trying to run away from you anyways. So Shen is still trying to go for that roaming Slowking. It's still kind of a struggle for him. And Fire just says, please, just show me the Scyther. I just want to finish this up real quick.
Yeah, once he gets the Scyther, it's just 20 TMs catching the Lugia Room Pokemon. That would be
and defeating a Lapras as well.
defeating a Lapras, yeah.
Unless he finds that if he gets a Poliwrath Slowking, it also will help him. There's lots of different ways for him to finish. Fire decides he'd like an extra level from that Blissey.
I like that.
Show him who's boss. If you don't show up, I'll attack this Blissey. And it is confirming the Scyther does exist in that area somewhere, just hiding.
Shen really wants to get this Entei Raikou Suicune goal at the same time, but it's just taking so long here.
I mean, unfortunately, it's not quite the optimal path. The reason why I know that, I think there was an old GameFAQs post that talked about the optimal roamer mechanics. And that's why I remember pointed out to me a couple years ago, where you go through 36 and runes of Alph, like into the actual runes of Alph, when it gets close, rather than just the gatehouse. I'll have to find that again later. But yeah, Fire finally finds that Scyther, and hopefully it'll get in the ball this time. He's just had very awful catch luck. I would actually be curious to see how many balls he's thrown versus Pokemon caught. Because it's definitely not feeling like the 1 in 30 that it should be at full health.
Yeah, he's gonna choose to weaken it with this Victory Bell.
That's a much easier way of doing it. Well, obviously with the lower HP, is a much higher chance of getting in. So Fire's going for the Lapras, and then he's gonna... Oh, first the TM. Although he may want to sell some items if he can. I don't know. Yeah, that's 22 TMs. I was absolutely not crazy about that, but he wasn't quite sure. So, that is absolutely 22 TMs.
Yeah, which means really just needs to defeat this Lapras and then go to Meme Islands.
He might want some more Pokeballs first, though.
Yes, my goodness, yes.
Oh, I didn't realize, but yeah, Shen did forfeit. That's okay. Fire's and there's finishing up soon. He is fishing it up.
Yeah, it was a really good race run by Shen. Unfortunately, it just...
Yeah, did express frustration of spending over 20 minutes, and he did spend over 20 minutes looking for the roamer. With a 50-50 chance really to try to find him. And Fire has finished.
So that's a final time. Actually, I don't have the race room over, so I can't see the official time.
The official time is 1:22.
And it looks like Fire is going to be joining us for an interview.
Alright. GG's Fire.
Minimum catch rate is a lie.
It is. Can you show us the balls thrown versus Pokemon caught?
Where did I see that? Two steps, train battles. Balls thrown, 38. Pokemon capture. What? Actually, 1 in 3 it seems just about right.
I don't know, it felt awfully worse than that.
Dude, I thought I was gonna have to unmark some kills. It's right there. Yeah. So, thank you, Athena. I love you. Kinda.
Yeah, it was good. I think the chat, well, and I appreciate that you murdered the Mewtwo's rather than catching it.
It was so much experience. Dude, everything was weak to Crunch and Bone Meringue. It was just perfect.
Also, I saw that 15 DV on the attack. I called it.
You very much did.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, so you were very much ahead, and I think... yeah, so you were entering... you were just finishing up the first trainer. It's the same... Just had, Shen was doing the first trainer as well. So, that was really good timing for you. Because you spent a lot less time trying to find another Pokemon.
Yeah, I knew. Like, I was actually planning on just forcing the Vaporeon just so that I could get the old rod and run that instead. But then when I saw the Mewtwo and I was getting levels, I'm like, alright, I'm doing this.
Well, it paid off. It was interesting that you picked up a berry juice in Sprout Tower, but Shen picked up the berry juice in a Union Cave.
Oh, Union? Huh, interesting.
Right by the fire breather.
Huh. I guess.
It just seemed like the goals mostly just dropped in your lap. I mean, there was, 3 different goals in the contest? Well, technically 4 with the Gloom.
Yep. I mean, I was intending to get that so that I could evolve it, but then the Entei showed up, and I was like, you know what? Fine, let me just guarantee the win. And then the better Entei showed up, and I was like, okay, I'm definitely guaranteeing this win. And
yeah, it was like a 99% chance to win with that lower Entei. The higher Entei was for sure guaranteed.
I was just like, whatever, dude, get in.
I did want to. I sort of noticed you picked up a couple of extra TMs on your 20 TM goal.
Yeah, I miscounted. I thought I had
in the
19.
mark before you did the basement. You had 20.
Yeah, I miscounted. I thought I had 19. That's why I did that basement.
Right. But it was good to double check. But wow. Yeah, it was really easy for you, kind of quicker. did you realize the Slow King was a roamer?
Yeah, I did, but I was like, at that point, dude, I'm not messing with roamers. I'm just getting the guaranteed poly roll to just evolve it. Because it wasn't, like, at that time, I was thinking maybe I would need to do waters, because I didn't have... Actually, no, I had a pass. Yeah, never mind. I just didn't care too much.
I mean, that was totally fine.
Where was Minky Meowth? That was...
Mankey was on 38. Shen, after he failed to do he tried to go for the roamers initially. I was hoping that since you guys both picked Raycard, he would do the Pokemon March for it. So he tried it a couple times before, and then he was just going for the roamers much later afterwards. So he spent over 25 minutes, I would say, just going for the roamers.
If I didn't get the NT in contest, I would have gone for radio strats, but once I got there, I was like, alright, I'm zooming.
I mean, it was a good call. But yeah, GG. Do you have any more questions, Trick? No, sorry, the fancy one. My apologies.
No, I just want to say congratulations. That was a really well done race. Where can the viewers find and follow you?
I'm in same Twitch name, Fire1520. I usually do Digimon streams, you know, the superior monster franchise, but we don't talk about that.
Are we even allowed to? Isn't that heresy?
Yeah, so like, I am on a bit of abstinence right now because I'm playing the Pmon franchise. I can't play the Demon one, unfortunately. That's okay. Once the tournament is over, I'm gonna go back to grinding it. It's gonna be great.
Well, either way, it's GG's. Congrats on advancing 4-0. One of the top spots of the bracket. How does it feel to be one of the few people to go 4-0?
You see, when Snorms lost his matches and his placement got lower, I got really scared because I knew that if I didn't go 4-0, I would have a higher chance of facing him. And so it feels good because I know I'm not fighting that guy just yet, or I am, and I don't know that. But still, it feels good.
I mean, there are those wildcard spots. Everyone's been pretty good.
Please, no, stop.
I'm gonna give you a chance to trash talk. Why are you gonna win this tournament altogether?
I can't say what I actually want to say.
Come on. Throwing you softball. This is your chance to talk yourself up.
Listen, I can't say what I want to say. Snow Bear knows exactly why I'm gonna win, but I can't say it on stream.
Unfortunately, he's not. It's kind of policy with SpeedGaming. What he wants to say is not something to say lightly. So.
Yeah, but yeah, no. I just get lucky. That's the plan.
Very good. Well, thank you very much, and please, everybody, tune in tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And then we'll have the bracket stage. There are 32 people moving through. So, shout out to everyone who's been doing this, and wow, this is only half the tournament. We got the other half coming up right afterwards. So, stay tuned.
Alright, see you soon, fellas.
Take care. I'm Snowbear.
I'm the fancy one.
And this has been another Randomizer Cinco Bingo tournament race. See you tomorrow for the last match of the group stage.